the 11th dimensional vessel approaching Earth. In the last part of April, it's fact that many remarkable things happened. Maybe after all, something very important could be hiding behind them. It would be important to remember that just before, a little while ago, we saw incredible UFO sightings in the sun, in the Earth's magnetosphere. It fell for 2 hours, and it's claimed that the Olympian ships arrived. Possibly all or some of these are related to the following. Well, as we read on Cavallarisa EU, something according to Ashley and James Gilliland, a lot of people feel strange. Something is happening energetically, and they feel it in their bodies as well, and in their thoughts, and in their emotions. And we tried through this podcast, this blog, to achieve a translation of the main points of the text identified by Cavallarisa, and these three events occurred taking place at the same time. 1. 11-dimensional craft appearing around Earth. An important, perhaps, and most intense event taking place is the 11th dimensional vessel entering our galaxy. The closer it gets to us, the higher the intensity of the frequencies it radiates. The arrival of the 11-dimensional beings of light of the vessel is intended to accelerate the awakening process, they claim. And their frequency is so high that while we are exposed to it, any denser energy upon us must be detoxified to make room for new expansion, they said. And the second, solar boundary crossing sector in space. Recently, the energies were so intense that some felt as if their entire being was connected to a high voltage generator. Every cell was hypersensitive, and they felt the feeling of collective anger and then moved into the phase of collective sadness. And among them were the authors of the article. So, as both are unusually sensitive to solar flares, they searched space weather to see if there were any related events. And this is what they found. Back in April 29th and 30th, 2016, Earth crossed a fold of wavy structure in interplanetary space that separates regions of opposite magnetic polarity. And this is called the solar boundary crossing domain, and could cause geomagnetic activity around the Earth poles. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, meteorologists estimate a 60% chance of G1 class geomagnetic storms when this transit occurs. So the two authors reasoned that this particular event and the arrival of the 11-dimensional vessel cannot be a coincidence, as the latter uses this fold as a means of propulsion and amplifier of the aforementioned frequency. Third, planets in retrograde course. For planets in retrograde, there are many sources available online. However, they seem to be used by the vessel and an additional booster. What to do? Now that we have the causes for why many of us feel a strange tension, it becomes apparent that the restlessness that exists in our physical body is that it's trying to adjust to these higher frequencies, and that our old feelings are no longer with us. They do not serve us because they literally vibrate out of our fields. The question is, what do we do about this? Those who are already consciously on the right path know how to react, and the rest will probably find themselves in a strange situation, as the actions for them will be too extreme. They will react with anger, with crying, with anger, etc., something that the reptilians who are constantly carrying out subjugation projects may, by any means, will try to take advantage of. In this case, the first thing to do is to ask yourself, is this negative behavior, negative thoughts, and negative feelings, is this myself? You should then proceed with a treatment. It's not necessary to visit a specialist. You can make use of burning scents or incense, and at the same time to do introspective situation, know yourself, observe yourself. You are trying to communicate with your lost self and get in touch with your higher self. First of all, it's important to breathe correctly, go with teacher, spiritual guide, and process of healing negative influences. And then go outside into nature, get out and walk barefoot. Ask your higher self to assist you in grounding these energies through your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And that what you're essentially doing is that you're becoming an antenna of the 11-dimensional frequencies that through you pass to the earth and from there to the collective consciousness. And if you follow these steps, you will feel the energy of absorption. And you can get your fellow humans in tune as well. And this I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.